The Lelit Bianca version 3 has been on the market for a few years now, so I'm not doing a review explaining all the specs and highlighting the features. I'm not going to give you the classic sales demonstration. That's been done to death. This video is about the elements that I like and dislike in comparison to the Profitec Pro 600 that I've been using for about a year. Both are dual boiler E61 machines with PID temperature control. Both cost roughly the same, and both are popular and respected. So this brings us to a natural cross-shopping situation. I would rate them as equal, but hardly the same. They've got different strengths and weaknesses. There will be compromises in this price range. How the two machines manage those compromises is the basis for preferring one over the other. If you want to spend $10,000 on a dream machine, feel free. If you want to spend a fifth of that on a competent machine, stick around.
Oh my God.
It's like a miracle.
I've been using this unit for a few months now, and I feel comfortable reporting on the experience. This is a loaner from our friends at homecoffeemachines.ie, an outfit that I buy from. Check them out if you're in the EU. I've got a link in the description. The most obvious difference is the externally mounted water reservoir. Internal mounting is tidier looking, but you can easily locate this one on the back or on either side to accommodate your kitchen setup. Even better, if you plumb it in, you can do away with the reservoir altogether and enjoy a considerably smaller footprint. With an internal reservoir, regardless of whether or not you use it, the exterior dimensions don't change. Plumbing in gives you no space advantage. The P600, by the way, is not designed to be plumbed in, so the Bianca wins handily in this area. I'll try to sum up all of these comparisons at the end of the video. Another obvious difference is the pump. This is a quiet rotary one, whereas the P600 has a vibration pump, which is noisy. I would say that the two perform the same, coming up to pressure in exactly the same amount of time, but I really don't miss the sound of the Profitec. With the vibration pump, you adjust the expansion valve to set your line pressure. With this one, the adjustment is on the pump itself. Adjustment on the Bianca requires reaching under with a wrench, and there isn't a lot of clearance. The Profitec adjustment is more convenient to access, but neither one requires disassembly. The menu here is more extensive than the Profitec. You can set up all kinds of automatic profiles. You could do a timed pre-infusion automatically. You decide for how long. You can set a low flow start and a normal flow finish as well, since the solenoid valve has 3 modes rather than 2. Or you can do the flow thing manually using the paddle, about which more in a bit. Looking at the menu, I'm not crazy about the font here, although the brightness is fine. Still, I think this menu display could be more readable. There are videos for both machines that will take you through their menu functions, so I'll just link them in the description to avoid duplicating content that's been posted more than enough times already. I'm not a huge fan of the single dial with 2 needles for pump and steam pressure readings, but that might be simply because my eyesight is rather poor. For me anyway, the Profitec is laid out better. The paddle control and valve for manual flow adjustment is much better than the Profitec, about which I complained on a couple of occasions. This one is smooth at various temperatures, and because of the long radius, it's easier making small adjustments. The Profitec one was virtually dysfunctional, so a major win here again for the Bianca. Inside, well, this is not the most generous working space, but everything is laid out rationally. There are a few sharp edges and corners inside here, so gloves come in handy. With stainless boilers, the first thing I look for is any copper to stainless direct connections, because there's a galvanic potential. You want to see brass or plastic components mediating the connections, and this is just fine. I wouldn't expect to see such a problem except on entry-level models. These covers give you access to the 2 heating elements, so you can replace them without pulling the boilers. Well, that's true with the Profitec one as well. On the Profitec, there is a single plate that you can remove, leaving the bottom largely open. This one is more enclosed, which is good and bad. It helps to dampen the noise, but it makes for more effort with disassembly. Choose your poison. The boilers have the usual safety valves and temperature probes. The steam boiler's breaker valve has a tube that runs to the drip pan. This is true for both machines. The upper thermosiphon line is noticeably larger in diameter than the return line. I would guess that this is meant to enable greater flow capability during a shot. When you open the valve and switch on the motor to push water through the portafilter, this might give you a greater maximum flow, although I haven't actually tried pushing it to the limit, so I'm guessing. I'm linking to a basic overview of the Lelit Control Center, or LCC, in the description. Now, it's fairly easy to program the PID yourself, and I'm linking also to a video about that in the description. When programming, you can lose your place, get turned around, but the controller can be reset to the factory default easily if you should get lost. So, programming and menu options, definitely another win for the Bianca. This is a small machine, great for an apartment kitchen, but that means it's pretty crowded up here. I'm not a fan of wooden parts personally, and these ones here especially. Lelit offers walnut ones that look a lot better than these stained black ones. I strongly prefer the black plastic on the Profitec. I don't like to see wood in the vicinity of hot water and steam. It just seems out of place to me. Lelit gives you a very nice temp, one of the best I've seen as a giveaway. Profitec, yeah, not so much. These wire racks are a little bendy and noisy. I prefer the more substantial panels on the P600. They look better and fit better. Also, the metal tabs supporting the drip tray grill make it inconvenient to clean in the corners. I'm not into the milk thing personally, but both machines have big steam boilers, and the steaming performance from both is excellent. Oh, and they make equally good coffee. So let's wrap up the score. I call it a tie overall, but in particular, the better house guest, Bianca. It demands less space and it makes less noise. Flexibility and options, the Bianca. Flow control, both manual and automatic, Bianca. Community support, yeah, Bianca again. Temperature stability, tied. Repairability, tied. Spare parts availability, tied. Steam performance, tied. Routine maintenance, P600. There's more room to work. You've got a drain valve. Yeah, it's more convenient for sure. Internal layout, P600. Component quality, P600. And fit and finish, P600. So there you go. They're equal, and both are good value for money, but they are different. These are both older designs, and you might wonder if they still make sense. Would you want to buy one today? Well, I think there's little reason to wait for something new unless you want a different type of machine. I don't see a lot of room for improvement in home coffee machines based on the E61 group. A few tweaks maybe. Yeah, I'd like to see Profitec update its PID controller and menu interface. Resistance heat for the group. Yeah, why not? But really, differentiation nowadays is all about colors and handles and wood accents. Where else can you take it? RGB? Oh, for God's sake. Are you serious? Well, that's about all for today. I have several more videos planned. Most, but not all, about coffee. So keep in touch. Cheers!